Hello, everybody. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. I'm back with you here this Thursday night. I want you to know that I miss you and we got to do some catch up. So, this is your first time with me. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. I'm an international fashion designer and I come to you alive to inspire you and to help you through your challenges of how to make a living out of something that you make with your hands or your natural talent. So if you're just coming on the first time, hold on. And if you're back, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back and I'm glad to be here. Boy, am I glad to be here. Okay. Um, I want to say this. The title tonight is Don't Overthink Your Success. And that is when you think you got to have it all together to make it. I'm gonna expound on that a little bit, but I don't want you to think that in order to be successful, I got to have it all together. In fact, you don't have to have it all together. In fact, you don't even have to have a business plan. You just have to have a I can plan. There's a person that's known in the military that's called the can do syndrome. I can do it. I have a girlfriend. Her nickname is Can Do, because you can't tell her that she can't do it. She's gonna always say, "I can do it. I can do it." So the title tonight is "Don't Overthink Your Success," and the reason that I chose this title is because I just don't want you to think that you got to have it. Have I didn't even have a computer. I mean, you can sew by hand. I'm a seamstress. I'm a designer, and if you have any talent at all, I am here to help pull it out and make it happen. Okay, so think about think about the things that you want to do. Think about what you have that is great, that you feel that is a gift to you, and get your pen and paper, and whatever I see, I want you to write it down, and I want you to take it, and I want you to go with it, because today we're dealing with inflation. And how you going to survive inflation? So you need somebody to help you so you can survive inflation. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are Trump supporters, and they're now saying, "Hey, I still love him, but I don't like the price of gas, right? Or I still love him, but I don't like war. Or I still love him, but I don't want him to tear up the Rose Garden. Or I don't want him to do the White House. Or I don't want him to stop with birtherism." But whatever you're going through, we had somebody go to the moon yesterday, y'all. Now I'm gonna let you know, I love everybody, love every culture. I'm not a person that is racist by any means. But if you know history of any kind, you know people of color have had to do three, four times the work to get half the pay or half the credit. But yesterday, there was a brother from another mother. That means a black man. First time going to the moon. Raise your hand, everybody. Clap yourself on the back. Now, if he made it to get there and go to the moon, he had to be exceptional. I'm going to give you a little history behind that. There was a woman that recently passed that made the formula for NASA. She made the formula for the GPS, a black woman. Her dad only had a second grade education, but she said he was the smartest man that she ever knew. She was excellent in math. She was out of the Carolinas, and they told her, if you can get good grades at the top of your class, that we would pay for you to go to college. She was destined to be the best woman. I'm going to show you her picture, but she was destined to be the best person in her school, and got a college degree and went on and was the person who made the GPS. So I know some of you got some offsprings out there that are very smart, very intelligent, that are getting it done. But for today, meaning yesterday, for a black man, a woman, a Canadian man, and a white man, four people to go to the moon. I mean, that's amazing. And they're gonna be up there for 10 days going around checking everything out. I just think that, I don't like all the shuttles and stuff that's going up, all the rockets that's going up, but when we're going for things that can make life better, to see what things are going on, what other things that are going on in the world, or why we may have global warming. I think it's a great thing. I think it was a great day, especially here in Florida, to have some great news, to have some safe news. So if you haven't seen it on your feeds, or that there was a shuttle went to the moon yesterday, I encourage you to go on your feeds and see those people that went to the moon. What I loved about it, though, I was listening to his father, um, just telling about how his son was just so great. And he said, I went outside one day and I looked at the moon, and he looked at his son, and he knew his son wanted to go to the moon, and to have his child and to be living and see that that son got on that shuttle right down in Melbourne, Florida, down, look, right, that's not even an hour and a half from where we are right now. To have something so historic to go up in space, and to have one of us up there, for all those who are African Americans or from African American descendants, and to have someone go up there, that to be the first one. I remember when I was in college, and we were all went outside to see the shuttle go up. And I was in college, and when I went outside, that shuttle blew up. It was a black man on that shuttle. That shuttle blew up. I was sitting in class, and we ran to the window, and they said the shuttle is going up, and we went to the window. So that tell you how old I am, right? Or how young I am. Well, that shuttle blew up going to the moon. So when this shuttle was going up, I had my phones, I had everything on, I had everything in the store. Hey, wait, we gonna wait for this shuttle. For 2 hours, we was waiting on the shuttle to go up, y'all. And the last 24 minutes, then they said we got 10 more minutes for countdown. Then they said, okay, we can't stop it. It has to go up. And when that shuttle went up, and to hear all those screams and everybody going for that shuttle, I was just so happy to see something happen in history right here in my backyard. To do that was great. And that was, like I say, a brother from another mother. Now I'm letting you all know, I know how hard it is to be black. I know how hard it is to be in business. I know how hard it is to stay in business. And I know that he had to do a lot to make it to that 18. And I'm glad for everybody. I'm glad for everybody that was on that shuttle, and all the work that went to it to get there. I just thought it was a great day. Now, anyway, that was good news. I didn't want to come on. I don't like no bad news. I want to come with some good news. So that was a great day, y'all. I'm still on cloud nine for that. I called everybody. Don't bother me. I'm looking at this. Don't y'all go look at it too. But anyway, tonight it said, don't overthink your success. I am a product of the former most famous disc jockey on this side of heaven, which was Tom Joyner. And I'm gonna tell you something about Tom Joyner, because I used to do all the conventions when it's called the morning show here in Orlando at the Gaylord Hotel, and I was one of the designers there at the Gaylord Hotel. And I read his book about how hard it was for him to be a disc jockey. And thank you all who are letting me know. I'm glad I'm back. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm back. But I got to tell you the story because I got to stay on topic. It's called "Don't Overthink Your Success." Well, Tom Joyner, if you don't know Tom Joyner, and for those who are all over the world, he was from Chicago. He was called the Fly Jock. He would fly back and forth. He was so good they wanted him in different cities, so he had to fly back and forth to do his broadcast. So he was syndicated here in Orlando, and he would do a great thing for our community, raise money for the historical Black universities. And so I got to be under his umbrella for at least 5 to 7 years. So it was, when I say 5 to 7 years, that means on in Orlando and then abroad when I would travel, right? Well, Tom Joyner was giving us hope and talking about how hard he worked. And he was an experiment for the university, for the for University of Tuskegee, not in the part where they were experimenting men with the syphilis disease, but he was an experiment on if you gave a Black person a chance to get an education, would he succeed? So he was part of that experiment that, okay, you're going to give them a chance. Will they stay in school or will they drop out of school? All right. So when I'm there and I'm looking at this man, I'm looking at all these people from all around the world that would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Look, we had to be to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all. 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, most sewers we work all night. We don't get up that early, not 5 o'clock. But we had to be on set up, and ready to go through the rehearsals. The Tom Joyner Morning Show. You know the song, right? But anyway, I'm looking at all these people from all over the world, you know, even Roland Martin, I sold him stuff, everybody all over the world. And he was just telling us how to stick with it. He said, stick with it. So that's why I'm here for you tonight. I want you to stick with it. Okay? I made a living selling stuff off my motorcycle. So you can do it. You ain't got to get on a motorcycle to sell nothing, but I did it because you know what? If I had left my business, I couldn't afford to go back to my business. So I had, because I'm riding my motorcycle. So I would sell stuff off my motorcycle. But Tom Joyner told us he knew he was an experiment. He knew that he was the most likely to not succeed because he was part of the experiment. They was betting on him to lose, right? So he was like, some people left because their parents couldn't afford to feed them. Now they had a free scholarship, but I know you got kids or grandkids and they like to eat, right? Well, a lot of people left because they couldn't afford to eat. Now Tuskegee is a small town. You know, it's a small town. The small towns close at dusk. But let me tell you what Tom Joyner did. Don't overthink your success. Tom Joyner liked chicken. So what he would do, he would go around. Now, you know, if you're a black person, we love chicken. Ain't no way you can mess up chicken. I don't even, I know I'm going to get criticized for that, but I love chicken. I love chicken. You can cook chicken 50 ways. But anyway, Tom Joyner knew there was kids that was hungry and they didn't have much money. And he would go to the different chicken coops. He would take, you know how you get those small sandwich bags? He would go to the chicken coops, the chicken restaurants. They call them chicken coops, but they were not the live chickens. These are like chicken restaurants. Back in the day, they called them, I'm going to this chicken coop. I'm going to that chicken coop. You know how we have nicknames and everything, right? Well, anyway, he would go to the chicken coops and he would get the crumbs. Today, they call them crackling in the gas stations. You know, you're crackling pork or whatever, but this wasn't pork. This was actually chicken. So he would go around to the chicken restaurants, chicken shacks, chicken coops, and he would ask them, can I just have your crumbs? Can I just have what's left after you fry the chicken? And can I just have the crumbs? And they go, yeah, we finna throw it out anyway. Sound familiar about the oxtail? Huh? Well, Tom Joyner would get those chicken crumbs and he would put them in small sandwich bags and he would sell them for 25 or 50 cents. Do you know that those chicken crumbs kept people in school so they could afford to they could eat to the next meal at the school lunch? So don't overthink your success. Now, two things happen. He was innovative, he was creative, he was inspired to find a way that they could eat at night while they studying for the tests. So he got the chicken crumbs from all the little chicken shacks around town. And at night, everybody was knocking at his door to buy the chicken crumbs. And it was a success. Now what the more of this story is that he had something to offer. And it was a necessity. And it made life easier. And he learned how to sell. So he had a product. So what I'm telling you tonight is don't underestimate the small things for your success, because gas is how you're going to be creative. There's a couple things you could do to be creative. You know, when things get high, this is when you really consider having a sale. Okay? When you have a sale is what we call in the business world a nudge. Okay, it's a nudge, right? And so when somebody nudge you, you be like, "Hi, Get out of my way. And then that nudge comes, you go, wait a minute. I can buy 4 tires for $400 or 4 tires for 250, whatever the tire price is. It nudges you to get off your seat and go spend the money. So as business people, we have to be just like the big corporate people. Okay? Don't feel like, oh, I made all this stuff and I'm the best in the world and I can't go down. Well, what you have to do now, some of your things that you make, I'm talking to all ranges who are watching me tonight, whatever you sell, right? I don't care if it's advice. Sometimes you need advice. Sometimes you need help. And the person can't give you their time without charging you, right? So they give you advice. It's called consultation. Okay, and you have consultation to help you with your daily duties. So right now you look at inflation, you look at gas, and you're saying, okay, and if you keep looking, it's going to change right in front of your eyes. Okay, that gas was 278 last week. It's $3. It's 325. It's 335. Oh man, it's 359. Now it's 399. And I think what happens when it gets to 399, I think there's a statewide or United statewide to say don't let it go over $4. So as long as it's under $4, everybody like, oh God, it's almost $4. But then when when it goes from 399, then guess what it do? It jumps to 429 and up, right? So as you watching the gas go up, you have to say, what am I going to do to be able to stay with the rate of inflation? First, you have to do, don't underthink your success. You may have to do some alterations. Now, some of you sew and say, I don't do alterations. Well, you may have to consider that because all money, when it comes in, it don't care. When you got to pay a bill, don't care where it came from. All right. And I'm talking about a gift. Now, some of you may have a gift and you may say, I'm doing Uber or Lyft. Okay. Now, Uber or Lyft is going to be challenging because the gas are gone up and the wear and tear of your car. But I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm talking about those who are creative with their voice, their ears, their hands, your natural senses that you have that God gave you, and nobody could take it away from you. Not even you. You know how many times I left sewing and wanted to just go ride my motorcycle, and then my motorcycle needed $100 oil change. I'm laughing at myself. I said $100. That's more than my truck. So I had to come back to work, right? So you think, okay, I got this gift. I'm gonna run away from this gift. Every time you got a problem in your life, you bump your head and your gift come back and it say, okay, you gonna leave me? Okay, you gonna leave me? No, this, how in Ecclesiastes, it say a season, a reason, and a lifetime. Well, your gift is the lifetime. It's not just a season. It's definitely there for a reason. But when you got your gift and you know what your gift is, you look, when they say you can't be God given, because every time you need something, it shows up in your sleep. While you trying to take a nap, you're driving down the highway and you see some way that money is trying to get to you. All right. This channel, if you're just coming on, this is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations, the baddest, hardest working designer on this side of heaven. I'm telling you from the bone of my body, that is me. And I'm here to help you and inspire you to pull your gift out. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about my trip and where I've been. I went to Atlanta, and I have a home in Atlanta, and it's my refuge. And I went to have just a little time, and then me and my husband, we're going to go camping, right? Well, when I went to Atlanta, I had on shorts. I got there, it was snow flurries. And then I saw these leaves all over the ground, and I looked up and all the trees were naked, right? So I saw these leaves on the ground, and I'm like, oh man. I'm talking to my sister, what I always tell you about. I said, oh, I see these leaves on the ground. I'm going to go get the leaves up. Y'all, let me tell you something. I started getting the leaves up and getting the leaves up and getting the leaves up. And before you knew it, there were 12 big bags. In Atlanta, you have to buy the bags from Lowe's or Home Depot to put your rubbish, your the debris from your trees in. In Florida, you just throw it in anything. Okay, Florida don't have those restrictions like Atlanta. So if you put your leaves in a garbage bag in Georgia, they're gonna still be there. They're gonna be there. Guy man said, where's she from? All right. If you in Albany, Georgia, and you put your debris in, it has to be in the alley. They don't take debris in the front yard. So every city has its own culture. But let me tell you something about them leaves, y'all. Them leaves didn't weigh nope, they didn't weigh nothing. But when I picked up all them leaves and I drug them up the hill and lined them up, I felt like I had done rolled over the highway on a motorcycle. And I've never been that way, but that's how bad I felt. I said, oh my God, is that what it takes? And my sister said, girl, I looked at my leaves and I left them down there. They didn't bother me. But I'd be like, can I be neat? But them leaves, I'm gonna just tell you, a leaf don't even weigh an ounce. I mean, it's like a morsel. It's so light. But when you dig up and you pick them up and you put the rake on them and you lift them and you keep doing it and you lift them, you realize that's some muscles you haven't used. And when I did that, I was like, I am so sore from picking up just some leaves. I underestimated the small thing. I underestimated that them leaves will trick you. First of all, I never do. I mean, I saw a man today out here at the mall and he was blowing them. He wasn't even trying to pick them up. He was just blowing them. I said, that's a smart idea. And then guess what happened? My husband came out the house. He saw what I was doing. He said he got the lawnmower. He crunk it up. See, in Georgia now, women cut yards. In Florida, you don't see how the women cut yards. But in Georgia, oh, you gonna do it, baby. You get out there, all the women out there cutting the yard. So he turned the lawnmower on for me. I got behind the lawnmower and I started mulching the leaves. I ran out of 12 bags. I ran out of bags. But listen, I didn't know I was sore till the next day. So I still had energy. But anyway, there's an easier way to do leaves, y'all. Y'all can mulch them. And he was like, why are you doing all that? You could just take it and run the more over here to mulch it up. So anyway, I'm just telling you where I was. Then I left there and I went camping in Albany, Georgia. And that was great, having a good time camping. I stopped by the store. I looked at the store in Albany, and that was great. Everything was fine there. And then I went and I saw my cousin, which had a fire. And I know a lot of you saw the post I put out, and I was overwhelmed. And I said, what can I do to help him out? He's severely disabled, and he had a large fire. And I put that post out, and a lot of you, I mean, some of you have actually given donations by Cash App and other ways. I appreciate that. And some of you have gave me the idea to do a GoFundMe page. I am working on that. That will be out by Friday, tomorrow. I just got to put the what is it called? That little scan thing on it. I have to put the scan on it. The flyer's already made, but I have to do that. And when I put that out, I look, I have never seen anything like that, a fire like that, and somebody leave out alive. And he was woken up with a fire crackling in his wall. He didn't know it was a fire. He just heard something crackling in the wall. So it took me a lot to just inhale that and to see that he's self-employed like I am. But because he's been sick, he wasn't able to keep up his home insurance. And if you know, like I know, how your health insurance and your home insurance have gone so much up, and he had to keep his health insurance versus his home insurance. And this is a house he built himself. And he got three animals, and they're goats. I mean, what are not goats? They're a donkey and two horses. So we're trying to feed. We are feeding those horses. So when you see that post, I just want you to know, if you have anything extra, that's 100% is that is going there. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna go back The weather is better now. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna learn how to lay some bricks. My father was a. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be there to help him because I feel that that's my father passed, and my father showed my cousin how to take care of himself. And there were some things I want to know from my father that I didn't have a chance to learn before he passed away. He suddenly passed. But you will see me in the near future, me learning how to help renovate his house, put some stones on the wall or doing a walkway, because that's the kind of stuff I love to do. Now I'm gonna take my time because I don't want to be beat up like them leaves. And I know that job is a lot harder than them leaves. But I want you to know how much I appreciate you, your words of comfort, your just knowing that. And now one person said um that's why you should never lose your health insurance. Now I'm going to tell you a story behind health insurance and life insurance. For those who know me, I just had a talk about me paying 20 years for life insurance, and I outlived my life insurance. I outlived my life insurance. I paid 125 a month for 20 years. And that came up to, I think the guy told me it was like 26 or $28,000 I paid. And I had to either quadruple that to keep it. And I chose not to quadruple that to keep it because I want to live and I don't want to bet on dying. And then my family has a pretty long lifespan, right? So what I'm saying to say to you is that no matter how well you prepare, there can always be some way that it slips away from you. So although I felt I was very prepared because I have a lot going on and I want my spouse to be able to decide if he want to sell it or keep it or whatever, and I don't want him grieving and we got bills or whatever, right? But I never ever 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 thought that I would pay into a policy and get nothing. All right. I've had things happen in my home and then they got $5,000 deductible or they only pay 80%. So what I want to say with this segment of the YouTube channel is look at your policies. Look at how you're feeling. Do you think you're going to make it tomorrow? Probably so. In fact, they told me, well, you already paid up until April the 25th. Guess what those jokers did? Now I done paid, they done took the money out of my account in March, which was 2 days ago. And then I'm calling them saying, I don't think I want to do this. I don't think this is a good idea for me. So them scams took out a second payment in the same month. Like they're gonna try to get everything out of me. Now I'm not gonna say who it is on here, but if you call me privately, like I tell you, I will tell you who it is. And I've been with them for 20 years. So I had to fight for them to cancel that last payment. It was only 125, but 125 can be some fabric. It could be something to make you more than 125. But anyway, long story short, don't get caught up thinking, especially if you have never used it. Now you wouldn't even know if your life passed away, you passed away, but how the life insurance come out, right? Don't think that just because you pay something on time, that it is what it is until you have to use it. Okay, don't ever, ever, ever think that because you have policies in place, because it went back to when my grandfather, when I was a crumb snatcher, and my grandparents was in Georgia, and the insurance man came every month and took his money out the can. And then when my grandfather passed, he had been paying on his policy probably 40, 50 years. And the policy was only worth $200. As a teenager, I seen him as a young child, and then as a teenager, then I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm saying, wow, but that was a flashback moment for me to say, don't get too comfortable, young lady. Okay, so look at your policies. Make sure, see who else that have that policy. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I have 2 clients that work for that company, and I asked them to review my policy. Oh yeah, you fine. But I never knew that you could outlive the policy. I never knew that if you kept the policy, they will only give you 5-year increments and your value will go down. I never knew that as you get a certain age, they will only give you 80,000 or 60,000, and if you reach 80, they won't even insure you anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what my suggestion is for me. Now, this is not for you. My suggestion is get you some money to the side to take care of whatever expenses it may be. Anticipate inflation. Also, if you want to have a pre-burial policy, I think that, but also look and see what's their longevity. Is that company been in business for a long time? Are they likely to go out of business? Have they ever been sued? So, and then out this too, start thinking, do you want to leave your family members with more than what you have? Do you want to leave your family? If you leave your family members $500,000 and you trying to pay for gas this week, don't, hey, look, better live, better have some fun, right? You start to understand why people say, I'm gonna live now. They should know how to be able to take it for themselves. So I'm making light of it, but it was hard for me to realize that I had been doing that. And there are other parts of that company that is good if you want to get money in and out or whatever. But the life insurance policy, I had never heard of somebody outliving their life insurance policy. And then they said, if you get another policy, we have to come and evaluate your health. You see all the stuff on the news. You can pay $399 and you can get $10,000 or whatever. My thing is, if you have a gift from God, work that loved one that's close to you, maybe put their name on an account or put it in some type of if you got a line of credit that you can comfortably get out without asking questions and don't have to pay on it until you pull the money out. That's another suggestion. But that was my go-to safe mode, that when they took that money out of my account, I was like, okay, you good. Okay, I do this. Okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, when you start raising your head up and you start saying, wait a minute, I don't think I want to do that, and they snatched that money out, I called the bank, I called them, and they put my money back. Look, they put my money back within an hour. All right. But what if it had passed? And what if I wasn't watching my numbers? What if I wasn't seeing what I needed to see? Okay. So that's what I want you to know. I want you to, if you don't do anything else this month, check on yourself and see what you're paying for with insurance companies and see if you're okay. And seeing if you're overpaying, and then if you're overpaying, see how you can adjust it, and then start putting money into a separate way. Because even like if you work for companies for years and you retire, do you know that a lot of those benefits go away? Like if you retire, you work for somebody 35, 40 years. Back in the day when you retired, they kept you good. But now those companies are saying, wait a minute, no, you're retired. You can't have the same insurance. Oh, that insurance was only $80 a month. Now that insurance is $1,800 a month. Okay, so look at where you are. If you're in the working class, if you're retired, look at where you are. Look and see if there's a cap on 80 years or older. Okay, because we're living longer now, and they're saying, oh no, now they want you to work longer before you retire. So this gift that God gave us, we're gonna be on top of all of that. We're gonna see the ugly head, and we're gonna raise up, and we gonna do better, because we can do better, because somebody is speaking and talking and helping. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you along the way. And anything that happens in my life that I think that can help you, I'm gonna spill the beans, y'all. I am going to spill the beans. Now, I am going to show you some stuff. I'm gonna call some names tonight. I'm gonna let you know who I have active and everything. But I want to show you some, because I think it's time for a commercial break. Now, this is the commercial break. The commercial break is when I show you what somebody out there is doing really, really, really good. Okay. Now, this is the second quarter. The second quarter is when you get it gone. It's the second quarter, everybody, is when you start saying, okay, look, holiday's over. It's time to get in the seat. It's time to get grounded. All right. There's 4 quarters in a year. Yesterday started the second quarter. All right. Y'all know y'all in the boot camp. Soldier up. No soldier left behind. We're as strong as the smallest soldier. We're as strong as the weakest soldier. So if you weak, baby, you finna get strong. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Now this is Miss Gwendolyn. Now look, what's going on right now in the second quarter is you're starting to get your inventory built up, no matter what it is, because people will always buy, even in the holidays when there's war, when there's crime, when there's devastation, and they are definitely shopping online. I'm even selling things in Brussels, not Brussels, Belgium right now. Okay, so if you're selling overseas, if you're selling overseas, then I would suggest you go with UPS, the brown truck, because they're still sending things to Israel, excuse me, Belgium and other places overseas in the Middle East. So if you're selling something, you know, a lot of people buy from overseas from America because we just creative people, y'all. Everybody's creative in every unit of the world. So, but there are a lot of sales that come from come from America. Now, this here is Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn makes charm jewelry. You know how Tiffany has all that charm jewelry? Well, Gwendolyn makes charm jewelry. And I just want to highlight this because it's so girly. And I don't want anyone that's sewing to not experiment with something else. Okay? Don't just stop with I only do this. Remember, you are a store, and your store has to have multiple items to make money. If your store only has one item, you're only going to have like 1/100th of the percent to survive. Give your store more options. Now, I'm going to show you this. I fell in love with this. I fell in love with everything because I printed it out, right? But I'm going to show you this right here. This is literally, and look what she made. Look what she did, y'all. She made this. Look, she got the bag, the jacket, the hat, everything. Okay? So what I'm telling you now, okay, so look how she made this. This is bad to the bone. This is bad to the bone. Now, what I want you to know about African clothing, that is my specialty. I'm gonna put this right here while I'm talking because I saw this last week and I was like, I gotta print that out. But what I'm gonna tell you about African clothing. African clothing is like the fabric store is called Threads of Life, right? African clothing is clothing that can be sewn all year. And it I mean, people, I have sold more pieces this year in this category than ever, meaning that I sell a lot of African clothing, but this year I've sold a lot of pieces to the afterlife. People requested that I want to be buried in something African. All right. So you got weddings, birthdays, bridal showers, baby showers, cruises, um, uh, I mean, graduations. There is endless possibilities with your African inspired clothing. So don't think it's just a February thing, or it's just a Juneteenth thing, or if it's a Kwanzaa thing, or if it's a Black History appreciation thing. It sells to all, not only just African Americans or Africans, it sells to all races and all cultures. In fact, I have a sign on the door that says, everyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. So when they come in the store and they see the colors and they see its space and they see it organized and the music and the smells, don't underestimate it. Even an African pillow is just like a bonus. Okay. Now, because it's the second quarter, remember what I told you. If you're going to make money, you got to have some volume. If you're going to make money, don't make one hat. Don't make two hats. Don't make five hats. Make 10 hats. Minimum. That doesn't mean you have to make them, but be prepared, because when the ocean go out and it come in, you got to be ready. When it go out, you feel like, oh, I ain't made no money. And then guess what? When it come in, everything is selling. So I'm going to show you Miss Masterpiece Design with her bad self from Carolina. Look what she's doing. She is making, these are actually bucket hats. She got them lined up. So let me tell you something about bucket hats. Bucket hats, I got one over there. But bucket hats are the kind of hat that sells to unisex, sells to men and women. All right. So Miriam is working on her quantity. And if you see the hat, it can be flipped up or flipped down. And she making her bucket hats in denim. So Miriam is making bucket hats. Everybody this summer will probably wear a hat, whether it's a church hat, whether it's a gardening hat, whether it's going to the game cap, doing the lawn, going to church, whatever. There, people gonna be buying hats. So don't underestimate the hats. In fact, I'm gonna show you this little hat here. Excuse me. Look at this little hat here. I'm making this little hat here, y'all. I'm making tomorrow. What Sunday is Easter? So Easter, if you are going to church on Easter, I want you to look at all the hats in the church. Because on Easter Sunday, man, let me tell you something. So this is something I'm actually making this hat for, I'm going to show it to you. I'm making this for a lady in North Carolina. And she wanted a lot of lace. I'm going to add a little trim, little feathers or whatever. And it'll be a nice little cocktail hat. And that's what I'm making. Now, the way I made this hat, look at this hat, y'all. This is the top of a hat. I cut off the brim. I put the lace. I'm going to add some extra pearls. I'm going to line it with some trim. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Get your hat. Look, anybody could do this. Take something and make something more valuable than what it is. All right, that's your nugget. So don't think it's got to be overwhelming to make this. This is some pearls I had left over from making a gown, and now I'm going to make a little pill box or a little fascinator or a little snug hat, so, or Rowan 20s like that. But don't overthink it. Now, Miriam also sent me this. And this is right here is a this is a sage. It looks like it's a sage pantsuit. And you know what I love about this? When she sent it to me, she said sold. She sent it to me, said sold. So if she sold the first one, then what if she made multiples? What if she made multiple pieces? Okay. So the thing is, when you sell it, go ahead and do it again. Because if you sold it right away, you can probably sell a whole lot more. And keep it as a stock item. It's simplicity. And this is one of the colors for the summer. Sage, different shades of blue, denim, yellow, and also a khaki. Those are our summer, spring colors, spring casual colors, and always white. If you sell something white, you can sell white all year now. White is no longer just a winter white or summer item. People are looking for white all the time. They're looking for white all of the time. Now I'm going to show you something here. This is some fun stuff, and this is back. It's trending. I mean, these items here, I want you to go in your closet, and I want you to find a pair of jeans that's too small, or find a pair of jeans that need a facelift. Now look what Constance is doing. Look how Constance is making all types. I would say it's more like a belt. Okay, but she's taking the jeans, she's fringing the jeans, and she got customers that are just, this is great. This is great. So if you got a pair of jeans, I'm here to inspire you to be creative with what you have, because I don't want you to overthink it. Look at what you have. Now, let me tell you something about this. When you see something like this, and I will share this with you on a private line because we have coaching. But what we want you to do is want you to be able to make multiple things alike. Because if somebody sees this and they say, I want 10 of those, I want 5 of those, we don't want you to ever think, well, can I make 10 of those? Or can I make 5 of those? We want you to be able to say, yes, 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 yes. Give me this much time to do it. So when you're creating something, make sure that you can duplicate it. Even if you have to go to a store and buy them retail and be creative with the bottom part and continue to do it. So don't, in other words, think of your favorite candy bar or even your favorite car, and and you say, man, I like this car. Somebody see you drive that car and somebody else want that car. So think of all the different major companies, short Ford, you know, what is it? Mercedes, all these, Toyota, all these companies see the SUV, right? Well, all of them will make a SUV in their version. And when they make it, they're gonna have multiple items. So if you like that car, then and you like that brand, then say, let me see your SUV, or let me see your Volkswagen, or let me see your sports car. So I don't want you to think that because you make something and it sells good, Evelyn, I sold this. Well, how many more do you have? Oh, I only had that one. No, 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 no. One of a kinds will keep you broke, because one of a kinds, once that person buys it, nobody else sees it. When you have multiple items or you have ways of making the same item over and over and over again, you will be very wealthy in a short period of time. If you make it one time, you got one chance. Okay, where you may make that item and it's $75, but if you made it $75, you can keep making it and the price will go up. The demand will make your price go up, and when your price go up, you're making more money, and you know how to do it. You can do it while you're talking, you can do it while you're singing, you can do it in your sleep, you can do it over and over and over, because you did that same item so many times. So that's why if you have this in white, and you can buy a bunch of them in white, and you can start buying wholesale in white, and then what'll happen is you can change the trim to different colors. And somebody said, hey, and this is a great boots on the ground. But she also made this one. Sorry about the picture being upside down. Look at that. Look what Constant is doing. I mean, this is a pair of jeans that's turned into a belt. And look how she's wearing it. Look, I mean, the model there, she has, I'm going to a picnic. Look at the background. And what I want you to know about this picture is, when you're doing your photos, for those who are getting coaching and for those who are going to be getting coaching, okay, the number is 407-590-8767. That's 407-590-8767. Look at the picture. Okay, the picture just makes you feel good. The greenery makes you feel good. The model is not overdoing it. And then what I want you to know is that when you do your pictures, make sure that your pictures, I don't want to get in the way of the picture, but make sure that your pictures look real. Don't just take an AI picture and say, oh man, I like the outfit. Make sure the picture look like it's a person that you might have seen and you might have known. Make sure that the picture look realistic. When you're using AI, some of you are, looking at the AI unconsciously, and the person looks like a stick person, or a thin person. And I know a lot of people are they're taking the shots and stuff, and they're getting skinny quickly. And what happens is, the people are not looking real. And when you do your pictures as a designer, as an artist, make sure that your pictures look realistic. Like I'm sweating up here. As light as on me. So in other words, make sure when you show that picture that you can relate to it without saying a lot. Meaning, like this last picture right here, I think the only thing you could say is, what size do you carry? Now that would be in your descriptions, because it could fit any size. It could fit any size. And I'm gonna tell you about all the boots on the ground and all the dances and so forth. that is a lot. That's a lot that you can get out of that, meaning that you can sell it to all ages, you can sell it to all races, you can even sell it to guys. Guys like fringe too. Guys like fringe on their pants. So it's a unisex item. So when you're selling stuff, don't always, what we have a problem doing is, because if you are a man, sometimes you might just be selling to men. But if you're a woman, a lot of times we just think we can sell to women. So switch it up. Sell some things that could be unisex, man or woman, like a bracelet, right? So we talked about the bracelets. Make sure that you can sell things to multiple people. Okay, now this one here, I want you to see this. Look at this. Look what Miss Bernie's doing. You see this here? Now she got more pictures showing you the inside of the bag. This can be a organizer. It can be a Bible cover. It could be a Sunday best look. Easter is Sunday, right? So when you're making your creative things, make sure that when you're making it, that it like this right here just seems like a gift. It's a gift that you want to give somebody. You love the fabric, or they look good in these colors. Okay. So still stay tuned to what I say about this. This is what I call a specialty item. Is when somebody said, I like your store, I'm gonna just definitely gift that to somebody. All right. That, like, they might look at your item and thinking that's just too nice for me, but I know somebody that can truly appreciate it, and I'm gonna gift that to that person. All right. So make something that you can do volume on, like the bucket hats, but always, like, I'm gonna show you the difference. Okay, this one here. Now she sent me several pictures, but I'm showing you for those who are on for the first time. Always show a picture with your hand on it. Okay, like that you actually, a hand on it means that you made it from scratch. That's what a hand do. If you look at Sam's and Walmart is the biggest retailers. They always sell something with a hand on it. If you look at this picture right here that Constant did, you see hands. Okay, you be like, wow, that's got to be creative. I've never seen that in a store before. So that's hands. Um, if you see this item right here, this is from Miriam. This one right here, it just need a hand on it. So if you're selling it now, she sold it probably before she even made a picture of it, right? But if you put your hands on it, now what I want you to know is when you sell something, don't let it get away and you don't get a picture. Don't let it get away before you can put it on a solid backdrop and build your inventory up. Okay, the best backdrop, even though they say it's boring, the best backdrop is a white backdrop, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because even this picture, I could take this. I like the fact it's on a chair. I could take this picture. I can crop it. It's in a chair. She has a white backdrop. You can see the detail, and that's what you want to do when you selling. Look, think about it like this: you're selling to somebody that you don't know, and they got all the questions. And can your photo answer all the questions? And if your photo can't answer the questions, and after you've been in the business for a while, your reviews will answer the questions. So your reviews will speak and say, yes, this was great. I had a good time. Oh, this is perfect. She did it just like I said it. All right. Now, what I like about this picture here with Miriam is showing a workroom. That's what I like about this picture. This picture doesn't show you a big factory. It shows you a workroom. And I like this picture because it's like, man, I wonder if she can do it from a whole football team. I wonder if she can do it from a whole dance team. That's what this does. Okay. This one here. This is great. Now, if you were going to do this picture, this back to Constance. You were going to do this picture and you were showing it, you would do like a slideshow. 10 different pictures with 10 different items you did. So when they see the one person wearing it, they can see this on a mannequin. That's how you would market that one. This one here by Miss Gwendolyn, it speaks for itself. It's on the hand. It's like talk to the hand. And then you got a lot of people that like girly jewelry. I call it girly jewelry because it's got multiple different pearls and things and dangles and stuff. So this one speaks and it shows you what it's used for. Okay, that one speaks for you. Now this one here definitely shows a hand. It shows that it definitely looks custom. And it also shows you that you do his and hers. Okay. Look at the picture. Say what it speaks to you. Oh, but what if I just want the hat and the purse? Can you do that for me? Or what if I just want the hat that the man have on instead of the hat I have on? Because I like the kufis, because that hat might be too much for me. Okay, guess what? I guarantee she can do it in all sizes and all colors. Okay, so this picture right here, what I would do is I would chop it up. I'll do a his jacket. I'll do a woman's jacket. I'll do a woman in the hat. I'll do the hat in the bag. I will make maybe like 8 different pictures with this photo. Okay, so we'll do it like that. All right. Okay, now excuse me. I'm gonna do some roll call because I've been missing in action, y'all. Told you about them leaves. Now this is what's going on with YouTube. YouTube is upgrading everything, and it's. I went back. I don't want to say this every time, but I'm gonna say it this time, and then I'm gonna keep going on. Okay, they got different ranges. I made the ranges go back. So when you first click on, you can hit just accept, and it should be your same rate. Or if you click and look at the rates, it's going to ask you kind of like, do you want to upgrade? If you can upgrade, great. If it's not a good time, I love you anyway. All right. If you ask for coaching and you start doing your coaching, okay, hopefully if you are getting coaching from me, hopefully you're doing your homework. Even if you haven't spoken to me in a little bit, hopefully you're collecting pictures, you're getting your photos, you're getting your prices, and you're getting your inventory. So all those who are in coaching, this is the month that we gotta move on. Now I'm gonna tell you something. It's a crazy time right now, y'all. And what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the outside world. I'm talking about in your business, because you all are business owners. You got people want prom, you got people who want weddings, you got people who got all these things planned, and you probably are great at it, and you're probably making money at it, and you're probably just busy beyond belief. Okay. All right. Now, what do you do when you're busy beyond your belief? You carve out 10 minutes every other day until you can get an hour every other day for your gift. And the reason I say that is because this is the time we got to start uploading. We got to get your businesses done. I'm talking to those who are getting coaching and those who thinking about getting coaching. I want you to know that when you get through your busy time right now, if you're doing all those things, you get these in place so they'll be ready for you for Christmas. So as a designer and as an entrepreneur, as a person that creates from their gift, you can't wait to do it the month of when it sells. Like right now is a good time to be making your winter items, your leathers, your pleathers, your faux. You know what I mean? Right now it's time to be working on those items, getting them cut and prepped and making your samples. If you're getting ready to do summer, if you want to hit summer hard, you right now you need to get your whites and your other pieces. And these pieces should be relatively simple. They should be something that you can make in less than 2 hours. And then when you make them, you can replenish them easily because of the other backlog work. Okay, because I know when I'm looking at these pictures, some of y'all are real busy already, right? But what we're doing with this channel is we're working on you getting residual income, which means that you'll be making money while you sleep with people that you don't know all over the world, because those people need you. They need what you have. You make them feel good. You make them feel like getting up to go to work. You make them feel like, okay, I did this and now where's my reward? Like I finished this and now where is my reward? Okay? So when you get that hush money, when I say hush money means money that you made and you didn't see the person. It didn't come for measurements. All they said is I want this, here's my money. All you can do is say verify the size. And that's what? You're already getting paid before you make the item. You're not taking deposits before you get the item. Think of it like this. You put everything in your buggy at the grocery store, right? When you get to the register, you pay for it. When they see all your items on your site, they pay for it before you even look at it. Meaning that before you look and see what they ordered, the money is already going into your bank account. Isn't that lovely? So say like I'm gonna go back to this one because she's I'm gonna go back to to this one. Okay. Okay, she's showing me she got 4 hats. If she sold this online and she's showing it, and maybe it's 3 hats, but she told me she got a dozen ready, right? Okay, what if you got 4 hats and they see this workstation, and then you have in your column that you have 20 hats or 10 hats, then and it's in, and you look on the back office and you see that it's in 50 people's cart, and you're saying, oh my God, if 50 people bought this, I only have 12 hats. Well, when they see your cart says you got 12 hats, people are waiting on their payday. Their credit card is already on file. So once they hit pay, then they're gonna lock down, they're gonna knock your inventory down. That now you only have 8 hats, right? So what I'm saying now, then it's the second quarter in the year. This is April the 2nd, the second quarter in the year. This is get down with the get down. This is no playing, baby. This is get down with the get down. This means I got to get my stuff lined up, and you're lining your stuff up for the customers that's looking for you that you haven't branched out to. Whether you're getting the coaching or you're selling on your phone, this is when you're getting your creative items together and you're showing your clients what you have or potentially have, right? But when you get the coaching and you on a bigger scale, you're going to have a bigger audience. Like this hat. This is a hat that I paint all the time. It's an orange fedora. I don't do much to it. I paint it, and this is what's selling in Belgium. Okay, I've never been to Belgium, never been to the Netherlands. So what I'm saying is that once you get that coaching and you got it, now this I may have 2 dozen of these hats. They're not painted. When I get the sale, paint it, let it dry, go back, do a touch up, paint it again, let it dry, and then I'm ready to ship it off. So it'll go out tomorrow. But what I'm saying to you, by being the second quarter, and you know your financial goals, some of your financial goals may be just to get by. Some of your financial goals may be, uh, I want to go on a vacation. Maybe it's a savings account. Maybe it's to pay off some repairs for your home. Maybe it's some pay some repairs for your car. Someone said they had some car repairs they had to do. Okay. Well, you already got the gift. You already got the gift. You already got the things that you need to make the money with. That means everybody on this channel, you already have it. You already have something that you can make that can turn into the goal, GOAL, that you need. And if you just spend the 10 minutes or the 20 minutes every other day building up that inventory, then you will make it without a doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that you won't make it. You'll make it because you know why? A hungry stomach gets fed. I'm going to say that again. A hungry stomach get fed. A full stomach never think it's going to be hungry. Isn't that something? When everything's going great in your life, you be like, okay, I'm doing all right now. But then when things happen and the rug come out, you be like, ooh, I'm hungry. I got to take care of that. I got to take care of this. And when you start putting that hour every other day on your gift, then you can prepare for those hungry times. You can prepare for things that's unseen. You can come back. Remember I told you when you like a football game, everybody got on their football pads, the winner and the loser. So when you get hit, you can bounce back up. But you got to have on the pads. Nobody get in the game without the pads. Look, they won't even let you in the game without the pads because they know you're going to get hit. So when you in business, you're going to get hit. Higher taxes, higher rent, repairs on your building, higher light bill. You know what I mean? Everything come at you. So what I want you to know tonight, and I couldn't miss tonight. I don't care what happened. I had prom girls in here. I had to push them out the back door. I got to go, y'all. I got to go. But what I'm saying is, I'm preparing you for the unknown. I'm preparing you for the grace, the mercy, everything you already earned. Everything you already earned, I'm preparing you for that right now. So you just got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Get it together, stack it up, and you're ready. Now, what if you don't have any space? Say this. What if you don't have any space to sell? I'm going to go from the lowest point. If you don't have any space to sell, okay, I want you to think of something that you can make and you can fit in a tray, maybe a 12 by 12. Okay. Because if you can make bracelets, if you can make the cross pins I was talking about, if you can make anything with jewelry and you just had it sitting beside you, I'm sure you can make a sale. You can make a sale. If you have some space, that's from the smallest person. That's from a person who may just have a bedroom and maybe a little corner of the dresser. Let's say you got to share the dresser space. What I'm saying is make a way out of no way. No more excuses. No more, I didn't make a sale this week. You got to make a sale, baby. You got to eat. You got to get hungry. Because when you get hungry, you will make something happen. I'm telling you immediately, okay? So now for the next layer, say you don't have a store like I do. And it came with hard work, y'all. It didn't come like I just got a store. I had to work. I had to save. I had to pray. I had to just put stuff on hangers that wasn't even made. Okay, try that. Try. Okay, you got a bolt of fabric. You might have bought a bolt of fabric and you got it on sale, right? Take that fabric, fold it in half, get you a yard of fabric, cut a neck in it. All right? And let it drape over there. That's a blouse. Take that fabric, cut 2 yards, do it like this. We ain't got to cut it. Hang it like that. That's a pair of pants. Or hang it like that. That's a skirt. Get your racks filled. Get the ideas flowing on how you want to make the skirts and how you want to make the pants and how you want to make the dresses. Take the fabric. You don't even have to look. Take the fabric, cut it, put it on your rack or that extra closet. Start seeing your inventory grow and grow and grow. Then when you get to where you want to make it, take a dress or a garment you already have, lay it on top of it, sew around it, make you a silhouette. That's your pattern. Now, after you do that 4 or 5 times, you won't need no pattern. I got all these stores. I just got a sewing table because I don't use patterns. I don't have time. Patterns will mess you up sometimes, unless it's like upholstery or something. Just take what God give you, get it up, and make it happen. I'm gonna show you something real quick. See if I can find it for you first. I'm working with this fabric. This is from the Congo in Africa. And I'm gonna tell you about when I say you got it already. Okay, this fabric, look at this. This is called Kuba cloth. And this little piece right here is what they are actually weaving by hand. And this is actually part of a tree that looks like a palm tree. In Florida, the palm trees, the the things are really thick, like an inch. Well, in the Congo, they're really small, and they weave this and they turn it into this beautiful straw that the men wear like to the special occasions, right? Okay, now I'm gonna tell you how they make something out of nothing, and this is gonna inspire you. You see this? This is like it's so small you can't even measure it, and they weave this straw and they make this, and this was what was once traded for slaves. This was a very expensive cloth. All right. Okay. This is so delicate that they take this straw and they make these when they what they have left. See this little ball right here? This little ball right here, I'm gonna show you if you can see it. This little ball right here is how they started embroidery. They would take the small pieces of the straw and they'll put it piece by piece by piece, and then that's when they would make names out of it. But the straw is so small that they wouldn't even let that much of a morsel be thrown away. Just imagine what you got laying around you that you can take it and make something out of nothing, even if it's baby doll clothes. So that's why I'm telling you that everything that you need, you already have. Like the little stuff, if you made something, or like the sheets, or like the towels. Like if you want to make robes, you can't find the right fabric, go get some towels on sale and make a robe. Start doing your robes for Christmas. Or get a towel and wrap it around you and make the little get out of shower pieces for men or women. Okay. This channel today and forever, ever, is to inspire you to think outside the box. Don't think you don't have it. Now, gas we got to have, but creativity we already got. Gas will run out, but creativity will never run out, right? There are lines in the gas line, and there are going to be lines to get your product. And the lines is not around the corner, everybody. The lines is all over the world. I mean, it's so, if I could shake you, I'm gonna shake you tonight. I'm gonna shake you tonight because I'm shaking you not because you haven't been obedient, not because you haven't been to the class, not because I didn't show up the last 2 Thursdays. You know what I mean? I'm shaking you because it's the second quarter. I'm shaking you because when we have Easter, Easter is my first official day off from work. Because in the mall, you get 3 days off a year. You get Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So Easter is in a couple days, 3 days to be exact. All right. So everybody here is excited because the mall closes 3 days a year. And I'm going to tell you about that. You got 3 days a year you're off. And Easter is in the second quarter. And when it comes into the second quarter, your designers, your creatives, your mind is spinning. But you got to put it in action, meaning it has to come to something physical that you can actually share with the universe. There's nothing, look, there's nothing that you can make that nobody wants. They just haven't seen it yet. There is nothing that you can make that nobody wants. They just haven't seen it yet. Okay? So when you make these, now it may not happen in a day. It may not even happen in a year. But you only got a few of them made, but you got the inventory to make more, right? So what I'm saying is you can't make it happen if you don't make it happen. If you don't make it happen right now, you can't make it happen. So it's time to say, okay, Evelyn, what I got to do? Guess what you got to do? Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is what you love to do, perhaps, or what you can comfortably do, but also start lining yourself with future sales. Okay, future engagement. I don't care if you're public speaking. I don't care if you are maybe you giving advice on how to do certain things. I want you to know that what you're doing right now can even be better. And that's what we're reaching for. Not what you're doing right now is not enough. I'm saying what you're doing right now, it can be better. And if we stay to the course, when you do it, it will be at ease and it won't be overwhelming. and then you'll be able to pay somebody to help you. I don't care if it's putting it in the box or verifying the shipping and everything else. Now, I do want to tell you this. When you're selling things to people, make sure you keep a database. Um, some people won't give you their information, but some people will. They'll love your stuff and they'll say, "Oh yeah, can I be on your calling list or can I get your loyalty card?" You give out loyalty cards, but what I'm saying is make sure that you have a contact list that you can send out that you can get residual sales. Don't let that customer be the last time that you see them. Let that customer know that, hey, I care and I will love your future business. And that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to make it happen. I just see we got a new person that just came on, Tracy Davis. Tracy Davis, I appreciate you for coming on. Now, I'm gonna say some names, and I'm sorry to say I'm late, but I'm gonna say them because we got some new members. Of what I was saying earlier about the membership. The membership is when you want to continue, you just hit yes continue. If you can financially continue, I think it's $3.99 and up. I want you to do that. I am in Orlando, Florida. If you ever come to this area, please visit the store. Please come and just say hello. And if you want to shop, fine. We do have some things we can sell wholesale to you as well. But I want you to know that this is a tribe, and it's to help us. I also, before I call the list off, I want you to think about. We have a member that her name is Miss Mitchell. Her name is Maddie Mitchell. I want you to keep her in your prayers. Maddie Mitchell had a very serious fire in her home. She has not reached out for help, but she lost her sewing room. I know a lot of you remember that. She lost her sewing room in her home, and her sewing room was on the second floor. But since then, she's had a stroke. And she wants you all to know that she is okay. And she will be back on the channel watching us. She may be watching us tonight. And if you are, Miss Maddie, I'm lifting you up in prayer. Okay. Um, I want you to know that this not about me. It's about helping everybody. And so I want you to whisper her name this week, tonight, this week, and give her the courage and the strength to help heal herself. Because my mother had a stroke, and I know that strokes take time. And when they say strokes are no joke, strokes are no joke. But Miss Mitchell lost her. She had a fire in her home, and since then she's had a stroke. And she wants the team to know that she will be back. She's gonna get through this storm, and that to just keep her in prayer. So that's what I wanna let you all know about her. Okay, now if I call your name twice, it's because I'm calling off of two different sheets. And if I call you twice, that's just like, hey, I got it, I got it, I got it. If your membership comes up and you want to pay and rejoin, please do. I want to make sure those who have been with us through thus far, that you appreciate it. And we finna crank it up. So if you've ever reached out to me, I'm gonna be poking you this month, saying, send me pictures. What you doing? Are you making money? How can I help? What we need to do? Okay. Don't sit on your talent and then say, oh man, I wish I did that 10 years ago. We're gonna do it right now. Okay. All right. So these here are names that I'm calling. Like I said, if I call you twice, keep it's in love. These are Tracy Davis, Jean Robinson, Life's Living by Lorraine, Ellen Banks, Alice Barnhart, Michelle Stringer, Daughters of Zion, Mildred's Desserts, Sweet Pearl Creations, Mariam Masterpieces, Yana Hodgepodge, Queen of Hearts, Bernice Thompson, Carolyn Royal, Nina Rose Treasures, Pink Pizzazz Boutique, Shamrock Customs, Lurleen Rockingham, Lumner Laser, Angela Hamilton, Miss T. the Sips, Linda Brown, Barbara Gary, Blessings 247, Donna Marshall, Terry Love, Pearl Lucas, Jasmine Robertson, Constance Clinton, Christine Williams Wardrobe, Florence McBio, N. Field, Kiki Salzberg, Newly Refined Designs, Vanessa Purnell, Susie Rebel, Kathy Woodard, Linda C. Payne, Jaleki Grace, Jacqueline Gurley, Yvette Batcham, Laura Farr, Sonia Harding, Linda Brown, Brenda Stepney, Ngozi DeBerry, Logan Style, Cynthia Berry, Cynthia Brewer, I apologize, Vat McCrae, Foreign Grace, Flo, Renee Salahunden, Shelley Neal, Tatwina Gilder, Patricia C., Emily Rush, Gwendolyn Member Starbs, The Thread Whisper, Kim Williams, Terry Love, Jasmine Robinson, and Miriam Masterpieces. So if I miss your name, I'm combining lists. This is the beginning of a new month. Please let me know. And if your name is on this list, I'm going to continue to call your name with all the new members, all the renewing members, because I want you to know how much we appreciate you. And I'm going to go back and look at my notes to see who else we have, because even if times get rough, I want you to know that it happens. And if you don't get some love from somewhere, where are you going to get it? Right? So we gotta be encouraging, and we gotta have some sympathy, and we gotta have some support that pull us up and put us on our shoulder. And that's what Harriet Tubman did. Harriet Tubman said, if they only knew I could have saved more. If they only knew I could have saved more. Okay, Damali J, she just came on. Hello, everyone. I want you to know, if there is a particular question and your pricing, don't be afraid to ask. The number is 407-590-8767. Remember, with your pricing, you want a small, medium, and high range. Excuse me. You don't want to have your pricing one price. Please make sure when you're pricing your items, like, say for instance, that bucket hat. What's the price for a child's hat? What's the price for a medium hat? And what's the price for an extra large hat? Okay. The reason children clothes cost so much because it takes almost the same amount of time as adult clothing. So we want to make sure that we have our pricing right. There's nothing like making a lot of sales and really didn't make any money. You have some items you want to let go, then you have a sale. You have some new refined designs, then you got to give the new refined price. All right. Then you got to do your BOGO. Buy 3, get 1 free. Buy 2, get 1 free. Buy 6, get 1 free. Make sure you can have some bargains in your pricing so you can get, we call it comeback juice. It keeps you coming back. You know how you go to that favorite store like Michael's or your fabric store? It keeps you coming back. They always have something to keep you coming back. So the same philosophy we got to do with our clients so that we can keep them coming back, and they will inspire you to keep making stuff. I mean, I didn't know I was going to be making a hat like that, what I just showed you. I mean, this hat right here, I didn't know I was going to be making this. And she said, I need this hat, Evelyn. I know you can make it. Okay, the hat, you can be going any different ways. Okay. So I want you to know that whatever you're doing, make prices, and your clients will constantly keep you up to speed. What else can you do? Now, if you already know me and you have the number in your phone, send me something that you're doing. Let's make the second quarter be a turning stone. Let's make the second quarter that every night when I come on Thursdays, if I come on in the week, that I can inspire you by what somebody else is doing. Now, some of you may say, I don't want other people to know what I'm doing. I don't want everybody to do it. That's fine. If you want it confidential, send it to me and say confidential. Okay. But if you want something and you want to make sure that you inspire somebody else on the channel, then allow me to share that because it can inspire somebody else. Because there's enough to go around. You know why they have 4 gas stations on the corner? Because people are going this way and people are going this way. Okay. So they all make money. So think of it like that. If you got something, you going this way, somebody going that way, they all can make money from you. They all can buy. People might be on the other side of the road, but they like your gas or they like your store and they'll turn around and go to it. Okay. And then I want you to know too, if you send me a design and I can show it, I want to offer this now. If you send me a design and I can show it for you and you want to sell it, then you can either send me your website, send me email or something, and I could put it in the description for you if you want to sell that item. That's another thing I like to offer this year. If you make an item and you say, I make this item and I like to get that item. And what I'll do is I'll put it in the description and say these items can be such and such and such and such. Because what they do for us on YouTube is they ask us if we want to be affiliate markers. That means if we sell, say I sell a Singer sewing machine and I get residual money, they might give me $10 if I sell one, right? Well, what I want to do is I want to give a blessing to you. If you make an item and you sell that item, then I'll add an description and say this item, things that can be bought on this item. And I can leave that at the bottom. And then we'll see if somebody see the video. And then we can say, watch to the end. At the end, we're going to show these items. At the end of this, these items can be sold by members of the Evelyn's Creations Bootcamp Club. Okay. So that's something I want to do. If you're in that situation where you can make multiple items and you're willing to share it, and then you say, no, I just want to share it because I just do it as a hobby, fine. But if you share it and I pick it as one of the items to feature, give me a website or email. If you don't have a website, that's fine. Give me an email and I can say, email this person if you want this item. That's right. Because everybody don't have a website. But if you can email them, and then that way you'll know if it's spam or something, and you'll say, hey, I like the jewelry, or I like the bag and the Bible case or the bookcase. And we'll do that. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna see, can I go back and answer some of your questions. I know it's long, but I've been talking so long. I need to let you know. This is, look at that, Victoria's from Chi-Town, Chicago. All right. Miriam saying hello. Michelle Stinger. Hi, Michelle. This is Constance. Constance is doing a lot of things. Constance has shared me some things that she's going through. And you know what? My hat goes off to Constance because when you're taking care of family, you're running a business, and you're ready to do something outside of the business you do and grow your income, that takes a lot of strength and courage. Okay. So when somebody say, you know what, I can do this and have fun and I can make money while I'm sleeping, then you have to say, that's what you call, my mom would say, a go-getter. Everybody on this channel got to be a go-getter right now. Male, female, young, middle age, and senior. We have to be go-getters, because if you don't go get it, it won't come to you, right? So we got to be go-getters. So my hat goes out to Constance. Okay. Hi, my successful community. I love that. Yes. Let's see. Sweet Pearl Creations is saying hello. And Marion says, love your top. Oh, okay. This right here, I'm showing you this. This is actually this is a dress that I have on. Um, and these are like pieces. Like if you get some simple cotton dresses, I have a what you call it? Those presses you can press shirts on. You can buy these designs and you can press them on your shirts. These right here are like iron-on shirts. So these are some things that you can do. There's some other stuff you can do too. If you do t-shirts or you buy big dresses or t-shirt dresses, then you can do that. But thank you for liking my shirt. Um, okay, this is listen to this. Sweet Pearl Creation was hearing what I was saying about Tom Joyner, and she said, I think that's where they got the words from popcorn chicken. Probably so. But there was no chicken in these crumbs. They were just crumbs. Um, okay. Alterations can sometimes, this is Miriam says, I have some alterations to do. Okay. Alterations don't undercharge. Okay. Do not undercharge. I know it's hard sometimes because you say, it only took me 5 minutes. Have a minimum charge. Have a minimum charge. My minimum charge is $20. Okay. Now that might be a lot for some items, but if it's sewing on a button or something, you might have a minimum charge of $5. Okay. And you said $5 for one button. Excuse me. I'm gonna tell you why you have to have a minimum charge. Because they're gonna talk. They're gonna talk. It's gonna take up some time, and you're gonna have to get yourself back in alignment. So you have to have a minimum charge to do your alterations. Do not undercharge on your alterations. A minimum charge can be 20. That could be a hem around a skirt in a sewing machine. It could be hem in a pair of pants. I would say five. Even if you say $5 for a button, you can say I have a minimum charge of $20, but I will secure all your buttons. Say the buttons. Say it's 12 buttons on a shirt, so it's going to take a few minutes to secure all of them. You don't want to lose on your minimum. You don't want to lose on your alterations because your alterations can probably be, you can probably make more money on your alterations than you do can you than you buying a making a dress. Okay. Okay, it's a NC is like that now. It's about the leaves. Oh my God, y'all hurt the leaves. Them leaves will fool y'all. Them leaves look like they ain't gonna bother you, but they'll bother you if you like your yard clean. And if you get out there and you rake them up, they will definitely be. Miriam said the Albany store is nice. Thank you, Miriam. Okay, Sweet Pearl says she cut her own yard for exercise. If you can cut your own yard, I'm telling you, when you cut your own yard, you see what's going on around your house. Okay, you get the weeds around it, you cut around your yard, you get to see, you get to get outside. But right now, the pollen count is high. I really encourage everybody to wear a mask, wear a face mask right now. Okay, it can be some gasoline. I'm sure she's saying the extra money you make can pay on gasoline. So you know what now is we have to consolidate our trips because the fuel is so high. Okay, Constance says she know Tom Joyner, awesome DJ. Yes, Mr. Tom Joyner has recently had a stroke, and he lives in Miami, Florida. So he makes very few appearances right now. Uh, okay, this is Miriam. She says, listen to this. She says the car dealership tried to get me. I bought my car back. Had I brought my car back home, and researched other options for the repairs and the true honest assessments of what the problem. Okay. A lot of things are happening now. People are really panicking. And if you're not really careful, my sister told me something like this for her today too, getting tires for her car, that they're overcharging. A lot of people are panicking. They're putting off repairs. So when you get them, they really come after you. So make sure that when you're getting repairs done, that you do your research. Okay. Okay, she's saying that something was dealt like this. This is Constance talking about something dealt like that with retirement. Yes, when you retire, everything, you know how you working really, really hard right now, and you have those benefits that you can go to the doctor, or if something happens, your family's taken care of. Well, when you retire, start looking at the retirement program and finding out exactly what's covered when you retire. And that's when you can decide if you want to go part-time before you go fully into your business, or you have enough to live off of, if you just want to retire and this is a hobby. But make sure that you check your business out really good before you retire, because even if you think you got it going on, it may not work. Okay. Okay, this is Constance. She said, I call them denim belts and I create them from for a line dancer. You know, that was the belts that I showed you that Constance makes out of the jeans. Now, a lot of things, if you're looking online, a lot of people are taking jeans, the top of jeans, and making belts out of them. That is the coolest thing. I think that's so cool to see that. Okay, she said she's selling. Now, this is Miriam. If you're still on, you're saying you're selling something for 19.99. Okay, I need to know what are you selling for 19.99? Now, you know why people say 99, because they don't really want to say $20. So whenever you're pricing something, either say 99 or 95, right? I went and bought some batteries yesterday and I was owed 32 cents. And the lady said, we don't carry pennies anymore. You know, they trying to stop the pennies, right? So she owed me 2 cents. And I was like, so, but why don't you give me more? But she's like, no, we don't carry pennies anymore. So you're just short of your 2 cents. I thought that was interesting because I should have an option. Because if the register said you owed me 2 cents, then you should have gave me 2 cents. The register should automatically round it up or round it down, but it rounded to the right price. So be careful with that. I should have went to my car and gave her some pennies and got my 2 cents. Um, okay, Marion says she sold the skirt set to a repeat client in my phone. Listen to that. I need to make more and get the phone with me on hand. I need to make more and get the photos with my hand on it. Yes. Okay. So what she did, she sold. This is Marion Masterpiece Designs. She is actually in the coaching program. She's using the technique. It is definitely working for her. And she sold it from her phone without having to do a website and so forth. So she got a client list on her phone. She's selling the items, but now she's getting her photos before she ship them. She already has Uline accounts. She already has account for her shipping goods, which we getting her net 30 before she pay for it. So she's already using the coaching. So that's good. That is working for her. Now she just got to do her hands on it. Okay. Okay, I like this. This is Miriam. She's having car issues. Okay. So the car issues has put an urgency on her to stop procrastinating and get more photos uploaded. Now I'm going to make a suggestion to you, and this is just a suggestion. If you have car issues and you need a car, okay, your part-time gig can pay for your car. I want you to know that. If you get serious, the part-time gig can pay for your car. But I'm gonna tell you what kind of car to buy. Why are you gonna tell me what kind of car to buy? Well, I'm gonna tell you what kind of car to buy. If you were to buy a car and you're self-employed, I would strongly say buy a car that is that has been leased. Buy a car that's been leased and ask for, and you can do it online. You can say, I want a lease pre-owned car and I want to spend, say, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever you want to pay. Put the price that you want to pay, and it'll show. And you, excuse me, talking too long now. It'll show you where it is. Okay, pre-owned cars, pre-owned leased cars are always kept up, and it helps you. And they can be financed if you don't have the money up front. But those are the best cars, and I've always used that pre-owned lease cars. Now I haven't always used it, but as I got older in my business, I would just get a pre-owned car. I'll go to the lot, I'll look at it, and then I'll make arrangements with it. And then I have a video on that. And then that'll help you get a pre-owned car. Okay, Walmart does. This is Mary again. She said Walmart does have uh, beads and jewelry making supplies. Um, Also, I like Michael's variety of it. She says I bought bolts of bubble gauze and different pastel colors like that in the skirt. That's great. Uh, Somebody shops at Ollie's for things on sale. If you have an Ollie's, that's good. Um, Okay, someone is saying this is Mary McGann saying I love working without patterns. Please, 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 please learn how to make stuff without patterns. It makes it interesting. You have less waste. You have things that you can make more things out of. The only thing that you have to be concerned with when you making things without patterns is look at the fabric, look at the design, so that when you do sew it together, the lines line up. But if it's a flat cloth, if it's a linen, or if it's anything other than a design that's got to be cookie cuttered, then that's when you might want to just look at it, but you still can cut anything without a pattern. Okay. Um, it says, okay, this is someone asking me, how far am from the airport? I am I'm right off of the expressway. Now there is a lot of tolls in Florida. I am exactly 45 minutes from the airport on the expressway. And I'm probably an hour without being on the expressway. You're gonna probably have about 4 or 5 tolls, but I'm right. I'm not that it's not a hard 45 minutes. Because the road goes fast. Our traffic is basically 65 an hour, 65 miles per hour. But I'm 45 minutes. In fact, when I go do some mail order overnight, like if I got to get to the overnight, it takes me 30 minutes because we have an airport just for mail, and it takes me 30 minutes that. So it could be 45 minutes, and the terminal and all that stuff to get on it is our old airport turned to postage, and our new airport is economy. Okay, so I'm 45 minutes from the airport on the expressway. Okay. Okay, that's Constance praying for Miss Maddie, and we gotta pray because I was thinking about that. I said, what if I lost my sewing room? Oh my God! It wouldn't be hard to pick it back up, but it's just losing everything that you know where everything is, right? So that's got to be devastating. So we gotta continue to lift up Maddie Mitchell with prayer. Um, okay. Okay. She says, Miss Miriam, she donated to my cousin, and it's a donation for what I pour into the channel. And I thank you because we got a lot of money to raise. We need to raise a lot of money for him. And he's staying in his granddaughter's bedroom right now, which he hates. So we got to help him out. Okay, this is the last two we got for tonight. It says, okay, oh yeah, they got signs now telling you that they have no pennies. Yeah, they said they have no pennies. So the pennies being extinct. So you got people saying they don't have no pennies, and they're rounding it up. Just imagine everybody keep rounding it up, or they don't give you your change. All right. Okay, it says the penny thing is a problem everywhere. I care about 10 pennies just for that situation. I'm gonna start carrying pennies, okay? Because I was like, wait a minute. When you're in business, you start learning how to count fast, meaning like when I say count fast, meaning knowing your change, knowing what you should have back. And when you just let people drop money in your hand and you don't count it, you got to get more focused. When you pay somebody something with legal tender, like if you were to pay for that with a card that you probably, if it's not a debit card, it would be a credit card, you would pay exactly what you owe. But if you pay with cash, they will keep the change. Isn't that something? That is something. So sometimes you like if it's a small item, I'm just gonna pay that. I'm not gonna use my debit card for that. I'm gonna pay that. But that's the thing that you have to be concerned with your pennies. I still carry pennies in my register and I give people back their money. So I do that. All right. Okay, everybody, it's been a long night. Not for me, hopefully not for you. And those who are coming on later, I want you to know I'm glad to be back in the saddle. I'm glad to see the astronauts are doing well. I'm glad that you all are here and you're ready for this second quarter. Most of all, everybody's in the second quarter, and we finna make it happen, y'all. We finna get it done. I want you to make sales. I want you to build your inventory, okay? Because just think of your store with no inventory in it. If you don't have a store with inventory in it, even if you can't physically have people in your space to see your inventory, if you can take a picture with it on the hangers and the first garment is made or the first few are on a rack and you have to take it and collapse it and put it in a container, get that still shot with your items on that rack. When people buy from you, they want to buy from people that look invested. Okay, okay, let me tell you what I mean by that. When you go look like Miriam is looking for a car, having car issues, right? If you go to get your car fixed, you want to go to a place that has a lot of cars and look like they got the equipment to fix your car, right? Now the bigger the company, the more they're going to get you, right? But you want to go to where they should have the capacity to fix your car. When you set your business up like that, not saying overstock it, okay? Because really, to be honest with you, I don't really believe in overstock. I think you can always have plenty of inventory and it's going to be sold, but you have to have a mindset for that. Just think when you go into a local store that they have plenty and you just get a buggy. And guess what? The buggies are bigger now. Remember the buggies used to be small? Now the buggies are big. You can put a big old baby in the buggy and you got plenty of room. So they're expecting you to buy everything you need at one time. So when you're making your inventory, think of the village that you're making it for, that they need your inventory. So don't skimp on the inventory. Like don't be, I'm only gonna make one, I'm gonna see if that sell. No, the more you make, the more creative you become, the more you're gonna sell, the more money you're gonna make. And the more you make, it takes less time. When you make one, it takes more time. When you make two, it takes less time. When you make 10, it takes less time because you got a rhythm or you got it prep. So when you sell it, it's more time. So the key to making money is to have inventories, to have inventory. Say like you need tires and your tire, you see one tire and they go, we're gonna get you the tires. They'll be here in an hour, but they got a warehouse full of tires. So you're gonna say, okay, well, I'll wait. It's gonna take 2 hours to put your tires on. It's gonna take an hour to get him, an hour to put them on. And it's gonna take you 5 minutes to pay for it, right? So what I'm saying is think of your business the same way. If you only have like say Constance got them beautiful belts, everybody gonna be out this summer. They're gonna be going to the festivals. They're gonna be going to parties. They're gonna be line dancing, and they want something swinging, right? So if she have a line of those belts, and then she put a hat, make some earrings to go with it, oh man, they're gonna be sold. Okay, and then if she make them for plus sizes, bigger women, oh, bigger women love the fringes. I'm not just saying bigger women only, but what I'm saying is don't make your items where they only fit one size, petite size, medium size, large, extra large, triple large. Everybody like to have fun. And people don't feel good when you don't have a size. All right. But all you gotta do is add more denim to it to make the bigger size. Keep the outlets on it and you can add more to make more. So but my whole purpose for tonight is to get you ready for your feast, get you ready for your harvest. And I can't get you ready if you don't have your inventory. I can't get you ready. You should be saying, okay, Evelyn, where am I right now? What I need to have? What are my colors? Okay, get my target audience. Look in your phone. When I get off tonight, look in your phone. Look at your potential customers. Look at your social pages. Look at your Instagram. Whatever you have. All you need one or two leads, and then you'll start making money because your regular customers going to be coming anyway. But we want to get some of that other customers. So if you're not getting the coaching, we want you to invite you to coaching. We finna get you set up. Those who have just recently got the coaching, we finna get you set up so you can get your shipping. We got to get your shipping and get everything ready so you can ship. Because all your customers won't be around the corner. Your customers gonna be abroad too. I mean, in different states as well. Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging in there. Look at y'all, we're doing it. We are actually doing it. You're making sales. You're making progress. You're busy. You're like, oh, I gotta sell. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta get busy now. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for loving me, and thank you so much for keep poking me and telling me I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you more. All right. Bye bye.